Hey guys, this is all from EVILE, and this is my top 10 albums that influenced Hell Unleashed. So seeing as I wrote the majority of the music on the album, I've got quite a mixture of things I was listening to while I was writing it and recording. So I guess the first one would be, in no particular order, well, I guess it's got to be a particular order. Hold on. Okay, number 10. Annihilator, Alice in Hell. So I will never ever pretend or hide that I am hugely influenced by Jeff Waters. Everything from his picking to his lead playing, his licks, his approach to solos. Constant inspiration, Alice in Hell. Always listen to it. It's always there. Jeff is probably my biggest influence guitar-wise. Next up in my top 10 albums would be Destruction, Thrash Anthems 2, which is a really cool gatefold. There's my dad. Shmia. This is a great album. It's some of the old songs of Destruction's re-recorded. It just really got me in the mood for writing thrash. Destruction are the only thrash band that are still, from the old days, 100% thrash, no nonsense. If you go and see them live, it's 100% thrash. There's no silly ballads like some thrash bands. Right. 10, 9, 8. Number 8 in my influences for Hell Unleashed would be Ride the Lightning by me tall I see me tall I see Ride the Lightning. Yeah, this is forever in my rotation. Huge influence on the album. I think just in terms of approach of change, how they went from Kill 'Em All to Ride the Lightning, and on this album we're going from Matt singing to me singing, and just getting into the mind frame of people will probably think what's happened, what's going on, but it kept me going. So yeah, Ride the Lightning. 10, 9, 8, 7. 7 would be Obituary. And now I know this is like a best of or collection or anthology, but Obituary are one of my most favorite death metal bands. They're the most unique death metal band, and I have no doubt you will be able to hear Obituary influences throughout Hell Unleashed, the album. There's just something about the simplicity to their riffs. It just makes them so heavy. Obituary are still the heaviest band I've seen live. I saw them live in 2001, maybe 2002, and to this day it's still the heaviest. And I try and find that in my riffs. I don't like my riffs being too complex. I like my riffs being too Obituary. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So this album is not a metal album. It didn't influence me musically. It helped in the fact that it helped calm me down. It's like being at work. If I'm doing thrash metal all the time, non-stop, I'm writing all this music, you need something else. You need to step away from that. And my step away from thrash was Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. If you don't like jazz, a lot of people don't, you might like this. To me, it's probably the best jazz album there is. If you're a musician and haven't heard it, give it a listen. The phrasings, Miles Davis's phrasing on his solos perfect. John Coltrane's on there as well. You can instantly recognize John Coltrane if you are a fan of his music. Just a great album to chill out to, get away from thrash for a minute if you're writing it. You definitely need the light and the dark in writing music. You can't just be metal all the time or else it won't work. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So this album, I think I've worn the copy out actually. Yeah, it doesn't work anymore. Annihilator. Never Neverland. This album will constantly be, I think, my favorite guitar album ever. Everything from the layout to even the picture of the band, I just studied, and everything. Jeff again. In fact, what's he playing there? Right, so it's Never Neverland. He's stretching from... I think he's actually playing Imperiled Eyes there. That's how much of a dork I am with Annihilator. Just, again, the guitar work on this album it's top shelf. I spent years and years learning Annihilator stuff, especially this album. I've completely worn out the copy. I don't know if you can see, but it is not good anymore. It does not work anymore. I've just kept it for nostalgia, I guess. Jeff's solos are just my go-to. I think I approach solos the same as Jeff. This is why Annihilator influenced me so much, in that he will jam over the solo section. He will just play anything until something happens that he likes. And it wasn't a conscious decision for me to do that. That was just the best way I found that I could write solos. I just keep jamming and jamming until the first part of the solo works, and I fall in love with it. You have to love what you do or else it won't work. And then I just continue building on that initial seed until I get a story of the solo, and that's it. Yeah. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Right. So number 3, I do not have a copy of. Do I have a poster? No. So number 3 would be Sepultura's Arise. What can I say about Arise? Well, for one, the artwork is by Michael Whelan, who also did Hell Unleashed. That's in no way an influence on the album, other than... In fact, no, it probably is an influence. We had the artwork up on the wall in the studio to get us into the mood of the album. I believe that helps. But Arise, I got the album when I was 13, 14 maybe. And I remember bringing it into school and showing my friends on a compact CD player. A lot of people won't remember them now. And I remember my friend, I think it was called Luke, he said, "Oh, it's the worst Sepultura album." And I was listening to it like, are you listening to the same album? This is amazing. So yeah, the riffs, the production on Arise is amazing. Just the approach to songwriting, I think, has always influenced me on Arise. It's not like a riff, kick in, verse, chorus, blah, 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 standard. It's not that. They throw in parts here and there that, I mean, technically don't make sense, but they really work. And I'm a big fan of thrash that is not expected. So, you know, the zombie beer apocalypse thrash, I'm not a fan. I just love the different backwards approach to thrash, especially the stuff on Arise. So, number 2 in my top 10 would be shit. I guess Beneath the Remains by Sepultura. I know it's another Sepultura album, but they are one of my favorite bands in the entire world. I would not shit on the new Sepultura. I think what they're doing is great for what they do, but the old Sepultura for me was one of the best metal bands ever. Regardless of your opinion, old or new, it's just that's what I love. Everything from Max's voice to the riffs, the solos, Igor's drumming. Igor's drumming, it's kind of like a song in itself on those two albums, Arise and Beneath the Remains. It's like he's writing a song on the drums, and I really like that. The same with And Justice for All. I think the drums are a lead instrument. It's Beneath the Remains, the aggression, the songwriting approach again, just my one of my favorite bands. I might go as far as saying my favorite band, but then there's Metallica as well. Oh, what me tall I see, huh? Yeah, number 2, definitely Beneath the Remains, and I will forever listen to that. If I'm really drunk and Beneath the Remains comes on, Natalie hates it because I will air drum the entire album, hit for hit. I started on drums before I played guitar. I will air drum the entire album, hit for hit, and she hates it. Actually, no, she probably likes it. She's probably pretending. So, number 1, I would say, is Hell Unleashed. I know it's cliche, but I've had these songs in my brain for 2 years. So, with everything that happened behind the scenes and the changes and everything, whatever. But the songs continually mutated, changed, hated, liked, completely grew over time. So the most album I listened to this whole time was Hell Unleashed by EVILE, because I'm so obsessive with music, and when I'm writing my own music, I listen to it constantly. It's on in the car, it's on at home, it's on in my brain when I'm in bed. I can't sleep sometimes because I'm just laid awake thinking of that riff and thinking, how do I get into the next section? I'll get to a dead end in a song and I'll be stuck for 2 weeks. Like, I can't get the next bit. I really don't know what to do. So I listened to it in the car one time and something will come to me, and I can't explain how or why. It just comes to me and I think, shit, that's it. That's how I do it. So I have to get to work, do work, get home, get on the guitar, on the computer, bring the song up and put what was in my head onto the song. It's never 100%, so I have to work around with it, but the idea always works when I've sat on it for a couple of weeks or something. So Hell Unleashed, big influence on Hell Unleashed. But yeah, every song on Hell Unleashed had maybe 18 versions of the song. So when it starts out, the first version, oh yeah, cool riff, that's a good way to bring it in. Version 3 would have built on it a bit, and then by version 10, maybe, it will have got to a point where it's like, yeah, there's too much going on here, right? This bit needs to be deleted, delete that bit, put that together. Now listen from the start up to the point. It's honestly, it's a really long process for me. I have to get it right. I have to get it perfect. And that's the lockdown and the Matt situation actually helped the album because it allowed me a lot more time to sit on the songs and work them out. I think if the album would have come out a year and a half ago or a year ago when it should have, I don't think it would have been as good because it allowed me the time to obsess over the songs. So I really hope you like the album. I hope you like Hell Unleashed. We have a new song coming out soon. Keep your eyes out. Then maybe another song. But the album is out April. the album Hell Unleashed is out April 30th on Napalm Records. Please pre-order it now if you like it. You have no idea how much physical sales go towards helping a band on a label. Spread the word, keep streaming, keep sharing, and let's make this release huge. Cheers, guys.